Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, today we are going to discuss the topic sexual reproduction. In the last lecture, we had discussed about asexual reproduction and its types, and today we are going to talk about sexual reproduction. So, as it was told to you in the introduction of this chapter, sexual reproduction always occurs with the help of two germ cells, that is female gamete and male gamete. Two main processes occur in the sexual production. So first it's gamete formation. So gametes are formed by the meiosis, a type of cell division which we have already discussed. And in meiosis, chromosome number is reduced to half. We call it as haploid gamete. Then the second step is fertilization. After the formation of gamete, fertilization of the gamete, the union of the gamete leads to fertilization. A diploid zygote is formed in this process by union of haploid male and female gametes. The zygote divides by mitosis and embryo is formed. Okay, so you must know the sequence. First, it's union of gamete, which leads to the formation of zygote, and then now zygote divides by mitosis, another type of cell division, and then embryo is formed, and then the embryo develops to form new individual. Okay, see the sequence. First gamete forms, then its union of the gamete will lead to the formation of zygote, and zygote divides by mitosis to form embryo, and then this embryo develops into new individual. Two parents, that is male parent and the female parent, are involved in this type of reproduction. Fusion of male gamete of male parent and female gamete of female parent occurs. Due to this, new individual always has the recombined genes of both the parents. So here genetic variations is a characteristic feature of this type of reproduction. Hence, the new individual shows similarities with the parents for some characters and has some characters different from both the parents. Diversity in living organisms occurs due to genetic variation. Genetic variation helps the organisms to adjust with the changing environment and thereby to maintain their existence. Due to this, plants and animals can save themselves from being extinct. So genetic variation is a characteristic feature of this type of reproduction as it takes place by meiosis, and this helps plants and animals to can save themselves from being extinct, from getting disappeared. So we are going to understand how sexual reproduction takes place in plants. Flower is structural unit or sexual reproduction in plants. It consists of four floral whorls called as calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, which are arranged in sequence from outside to inside. So remember this thing, a flower is said to be reproduction unit in plants, and it consists of four floral whorls called as calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Androecium and gynoecium are called as essential whorls because they perform function of reproduction, whereas calyx and corolla are called as accessory whorls because they are responsible for protection of inner whorls. So androecium and gynoecium, they are present inside, calyx and corolla, they are present outside, so they are protective in nature. Members of calyx are called as sepals and they are green in color. Okay, now you can see in the picture, the diagram, these are calyx, this member is called as sepals. Members of corolla are called petals and they are of various color, okay, different color depending on the color of flower. So these are corolla, okay, and each member is called as petals. So this particular part, gynoecium, the different parts of gynoecium, you will going to understand this, and anther and filament, these are the part of androecium. Okay. A flower is called as bisexual if both whorls, that is androecium and gynoecium, are present in the same flower. So as you can see in the last diagram, both the gynoecium and androecium are present in the same flower. So this flower can be called as bisexual, and you must be knowing this flower is of hibiscus. Okay, that is hibiscus. Okay, it's mentioned here. Example, hibiscus. A flower is called as unisexual if any one of the above mentioned two whorls is present in the flower. If only androecium is present, it is called male flower, and if only gynoecium is present, it is called female flower. Okay, so papaya have this differentiate flowers of male and female. Now let us see how this reproduction take place in flowers. So many flowers have stalk for support called as pedicel. Such flowers are called pedicellate flowers, whereas flowers without stalk is called as sessile. Okay, we know that flowers have something to hold, to support. We call it as pedicel flowers or pedicellate, and the one which is without stalk, it's called sessile. Androecium is male whorl and its members are called as stamens. Gynoecium is female whorls and its members are called as carpel. Remember this word, stamen, the member of androecium, and carpels, the members of gynoecium. Members of gynoecium are called as carpels. They may be separate or united. Ovary is present at the basal end of each carpel. A hollow style comes up from the ovary. Stigma is present at the tip of style. Okay, let us see this. Yeah, it's given over here. So you can see this is ovary. Okay, a style, a hollow tube, and stigma is a sticky nature which attract pollen grain. Okay, so this is what a stamen look like. Sorry, carpel looks like, each member of gynoecium. So ovary contain as many as ovules. Embryo sac is formed in each ovule by meiosis. Embryo sac consists of haploid egg cell and two haploid polar nuclei. So let us see this. Yeah, it's over here. Okay, so you can see it's embryo sac. Okay, and there are many ovules. So whenever the pollen grain reaches the stigma, okay, so from the pollen grain the male gametes enter in the hollow tube of style, and they get united with any of the ovules, and when they get united with the ovules, that leads to the formation of embryo sac. Okay, and there are two polar nuclei as well. Fine, and the remaining ovules, they convert into seeds. So this is how fertilization takes place. Let us understand again. So pollination occurs with the help of abiotic agents. Abiotic agents like wind, water, and biotic agents like insect and other animals. Okay. Stigma becomes sticky during pollination. Pollen germinates when they fall upon such sticky stigma. That is a long pollen tube, and two male gametes are formed. The pollen tube carries male gametes. Pollen tube reaches the embryo sac via style. Okay, so this can be seen over here, which I have already explained. You see how they enter through this hollow tube of style. Tip of pollen tube burst and two male gametes are released in embryo sac. One male gametes unite with the egg cell to form zygote. This is fertilization. So out of the two male gamete, one unite with the egg cell present in ovule to form zygote, and second male gametes unite with two polar nuclei. Okay, two polar nuclei. See, one is going with the egg cell, the other one is going with the polar nuclei to form endosperm. Okay, so endosperm is a nutritive material which help this zygote to develop. As two nuclei participate in this process, it is called as double fertilization. So the question comes, what is double fertilization? So you are supposed to explain like this. One male gamete goes with egg cell, the other male gamete goes with the polar nuclei. So this is double fertilization. Okay. Now, so let us see how seed germinates. So ovule develops into seed. The remaining part which do not get fertilized, the remaining ovules, they germinate into seed, and ovary into fruit after fertilization. Seeds fall upon the ground when fruits break up, and they germinate in the soil under favorable conditions. So you can see from here. Okay, so the part how it germinates. Zygote develop at the cost of food stored in endosperm of seed, and thus a new plantlet is formed. This is called seed germination. Okay, so seed germination, where seed germinate into a new plant, and this all starts from ovule. So here we had finished with the part of sexual reproduction in plants. In the next lecture, we'll talk about sexual reproduction in human beings. By the time read this part, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.